alive, I see.
What am I supposed to say to him?
Well, he's your grandfather. Just talk to him. It'll be fine.
Eli, still doodling, huh? Make a living doing that?
Emmy winner and Golden Globe nominee Hal Linden, star of the long-running series Barney Miller, and Ryan Ochoa, star of the hit Disney series Pair of Kings, join us this morning to talk to us about their latest film. It is called The Samuel Project, which screens at the Toronto Jewish Film Festival this Friday and Saturday. And man, are we ever honored. And Sunday.
Friday and Sunday.
Friday and Sunday. Thank you. We're so honored to have you both here today.
And Tony won it too. Not that I'm counting.
We had to cut things down.
It would take up the entire interview.
Okay.
If we go through the long list, you're both so hugely successful. This film is beautiful. I was able to screen it yesterday. It is so heartwarming. It is a true family film. But when you look at the subject matter at first, you might think, who is this best suited for? But you say how this isn't a film specifically what one might think when you think of a Holocaust film.
Well, it started out as a Holocaust film. It started out telling the story of this of somebody who had had an experience. In the beginning, I think I went back to Germany and confronted the man who shot me. I was very involved.
Yeah.
And as they worked on the script, and we realized it was a film about communication, intergenerational communication, and that's a fact of life. Is that even the Holocaust story, how many generations down know about it, and the telling of it. A lot of Holocaust victims are very reticent. They don't want to talk about it. It's not a wonderful memory. So there has been a lack of communication between generations. Here, two generations, grandson and grandfather.
Yeah. And as we get more and more distant as well from 1940, from the 1940s.
Yes, indeed.
And your generation now, Ryan, comes up. We depend, we can have all the history books we want, but we depend to hear it from someone who was there.
Exactly.
As you were doing this movie, I mean, was this a bit of an eye-opener for you as well, personally?
Oh, it totally was. And like we always talk about, I feel like that's why this film is extra important right now, because as the third generation do get older, these stories are going to start being lost, and that's why it's extra important for my generation to really starting those conversations. Those conversations need to start coming up, because we are the ones responsible for talking to our parents and especially our grandparents to really just learn more about them. And I was learning as we were shooting the movie, and that's why it was extra special for me.
But overall, we discovered as we were working on the script, and that really what the picture was about. The Holocaust is an event in the picture, but it's about intergenerational communication.
You could have easily been talking about the Depression, or you could have easily been talking about another event.
And if the picture makes because Ryan's character wants to be an artist.
Yeah.
And if you come away with anything, it's art can be more eloquent than words, because the generations eventually do come together for that one moment at the end of the movie through art.
I was going to say, it's so sensitive and so beautifully done. It's about love. It's an ultimate love story, a coming-of-age story, and a finding yourself story, despite what life throws your way. You know, whether you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or you're just trying to figure things out, in high school. Yeah. So what do you hope viewers get from this film? As a family, they can watch this together as a family.
I hope they just have a good time seeing it. I mean, when you make a movie, at least I don't. We don't have leave it to the director to have some kind of
yeah, I mean,
we just try to make our characters real, and interact as the script has us interact, and make that interaction real.
Yeah.
And then people will associate with it. But I think if you're trying to come away with something, it has to do with communication between generations.
Yeah.
Family.
It's telling our stories and sharing our history. The difference between somebody like Ryan and me is we have totally different histories.
Yeah.
It's hard to communicate, but if you share the histories, then you can start to communicate.
Okay, I have a question for Ryan.
Yes.
How many episodes of Barney Miller have you seen?
Oh, I've seen all like 30 seasons.
Have you seen? It's a good question for you. Did you have a chance to see many of
So
them? I know you knew you were going to be working with Hal Linden.
So kind of like what we talked about before the show. I did watch a few, but I didn't want to know too much about Hal.
Yeah.
Because, like we said, the movie is about lack of communication and ultimately the grandson and grandfather building a relationship. And if I knew so much about Samuel or Hal, I don't think the chemistry would have been there, but it could have been something totally different than what we actually see on screen. So, and he didn't know anything about me. The first time we met, he saw me on my cell phone and was like, "Oh, is this kid really going to be the lead?"
Because it really is. I mean, it makes you cry at the end. You both did such a beautiful job. It is so heartfelt and touching. And I hear you have a The Rock impression. I don't know if you've heard or seen it, but is it true?
I don't even think he knew that I was like a follower of The Rock.
Let's see.
So this is something like the Rock would probably say on live TV.
Okay.
So, what up? My name is Dwayne Johnson. The jabroni beating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising comes to Toronto. The first place he's going is to get a Tim Hortons donut.
Yes.
Now you, Hal.
Any impressions?
I'll take a Tim Horton donut.
You have got to go see them. Now, the Toronto Jewish Film Festival actually starts today, runs right through until May 13th. You can go to tjff.com for more information and to get tickets
And to
go
them
see it.
Friday and Sunday. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
It's
you.
been an absolute
You
pleasure.
guys are amazing.
Beautiful film. We paid him to say that. And donuts. Over to you, Raj.